South Africa's football coaches have gained plenty of traction abroad in recent years, partly thanks to the progress of Pitso Mosimane. But there are others who are making a name for themselves, including Masilo Modubi, who is based in Belgium. He joins us via Zoom to chat to us about his journey. Masilo, a very good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, Kwena. How are you doing, my brother?
Good, how are you?
Good. Can't complain.
Great. Just to trace your journey a little bit, you left, I remember, as an 18-year-old, was signed by Chelsea, could not play for Chelsea, went on to play for KVC, Westerlo, and then suddenly you're in coaching. How did that change come about?
You know, at the end of the day, you cannot play football until you're 60 years old, There comes an end, and I got some injuries, and it came to a point where I have to decide what is my future like, and I decided to go into coaching, and since then I've been coaching now 8 years, I think.
And just looking back to your spell in Belgium, particularly with KVC Westerlo, where you spend most of your time playing there, how was it, despite that recurrent hamstring injury that held you back at times?
We come from the School of Excellence where we get a lot of training where they help you to actually anticipate the environments overseas of everywhere in Africa or anywhere in the PSL or DStv. And we were quite prepared, I think, when we got here. The only thing was the weather was cold, but about infrastructure and the coaching, I think we were well prepared to actually manage the environment. But then there's a difference between being in a development and also being in a professional setup, You don't play for peanuts, you play for the 3 points, and people take it very serious.
The transition from playing to coaching, considering one, you're a foreigner, and two, you have a darker skin from a different continent. How were you received as you started your coaching career?
It's not easy. I can tell you, in the division I was last year, I was the only black coach in the division. It's not easy. Firstly, you get judged by your skin, and then can you actually speak the language? And there are a lot of factors that come in. You see other coaches that you started with, like they jump from where you are just directly to the pro side. But you have to take the punches with the job as well. It's not easy. I think other coaches also coming from Europe to our country. Some of you guys call them farmers. They come from the Farmers League and stuff like that. So you can imagine what we're all experiencing as well this side. If they get criticism coming from Europe to South Africa and get criticized by supporters, imagine about me being here, get also criticized. But, I'm ready for that as well.
You just ended your stint with KESK Leopoldsburg. How has that been? And going forward, what's next for you in the coaching, from a coaching perspective?
I've been with the team for the last 3 years, and the 2 years were beautiful. But the last year was a bit challenging for them financially because, other sponsors pulling out. And so at the end, we decided to part ways. So I've now decided to join, another team, but that will officially be announced next week. So I feel like I've made a good step in my coaching career as well. I have to respect the parties involved as well. Maybe really too.
Okay, but also, have you considered coming back to coach in South Africa? Have you ever been approached to come back and coach in South Africa?
Yes, I was approached a couple of times the last 8 months or a year or so. Like every window that opens, they ask me to come. But, I feel like I still have a lot to prove this side. And eventually the right moment will come where I have to come and give back to my country.
Mm. Do you feel that you have found your coaching boots, as it were? Because, I understand even when you were coaching started, there was at a point where you even called the African Pep Guardiola. Clearly, the people have loved your style of coaching.
Yes, if you come from the School of Excellence, we've always loved the ball. We love to move the ball. And, if you look at the football industry now, everything is about building up from the back. And we started at a young, I think, 90, 1998, 99, when I got to the School of Excellence, we were already doing that. So you fell in love with the game, first playing it, but now understanding the game now outside as a coach is beautiful. And I think because I started 8 years ago, the people actually started to understand, because here in Belgium, it was also not so big, like moving the ball. Only it came from when Barcelona with the Xavi and Iniesta at that time. So with me being here, and I took the risk to say, look, I'm going to start playing also from the back. And eventually with the results, the supporters start to, to like it, because now they compare the two, Pep and my team as well. So they started calling me that.
Masilo, let's end with a quick look at the Euro 2024. Belgium, the country that you're working at and staying at the moment, is playing against France. I mean, what have you made of Belgium so far and your expectation going into that game against France?
They've been hot and cold. The first game was not so good. The second game was very good. The third game was not so good. Supporters are also frustrated at the same time. How do I see it? I would, on paper, it looks like France will take it. But we know, like, every game has to be played. You never know at that moment. What if France, the first 10 minutes, get a red card? It changes. But if you would ask me, the chances of them making through are very less.
All right. Masilo, thank you very much for coming through to speak to us.
You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you, Masilo Modubi, and former Ria Stars player.